long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit, it's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom hitting hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack 'em all? How long we not gonna make these youngins pull their pants up? How long we gon' keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gon' keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beat stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.
Yo, what's going on, my people? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling today? It's your boy, Mr. Provoked Thoughts. We are in the building, okay? Happy Sunday to every one of y'all, man, that are here and that are ready to listen to what happened all week long, man. It's been one of those weeks, man. It's been a tumultuous week for those who are interested in what's going on in the world, interested in what's going on in this political sphere, interested in everything. It's been a little bit of disgust. It's been a little bit of, oh my goodness, what is that? It's been a lot of good things, if you ask me. It's one of those things where I look at, when things are working in the favor, of a person, and they're undeniable as far as what they can accomplish, regardless to what the world tries to put on them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very, very excited this week, man, about what's up to come this week coming with Donald Trump and his hush money trial. I do feel like that a lot of things are, getting exposed at this point to where it's undeniable that we have a situation in our legal system that is unfair, it's unjust, it's unhinged, it's emotional, it's not what the founding fathers of this country designed for our judicial system to be, our constitution to be, or anything of that nature. Okay. It makes no sense to be talking about numbers and bookkeeping, and then you peddle out a porn star and she ain't got nothing to say about the books, what happened with the books. The only thing that she can say is what happened with her behind, which is irrelevant. It is irrelevant. And before we even get started, to all my mothers out there, to all of my mothers, my hot mamas, my tired mamas, my working mamas, my married mamas, all of y'all mamas, even the ones that struggling, that ain't, that might not be doing such a great job, but they trying. Happy Mother's Day to you, ladies, because we know it's difficult, especially as men. I know as a son of a single mother, how hard it is for a single mother to raise a boy into a man. I had to do some things to make that happen because I realized that it was only so far that she could take me. And, I just wanted to, I want to, let it be known that, you are absolutely appreciated in this thing. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring up my brother Noob so we can go ahead and kind of get into the business of the day. And here we go. What's going on, Mr. Noobs? How you feeling, man?
What's up, man? I'm feeling pretty good. Now,
yeah, I'm rock solid, man. I'm it's like I said, the week started with a what the fuck, and then it ended with a what the fuck. Oh my god. So to know that, even though people try to make you feel away, people try to gaslight people, there are people that cannot be gaslit out here, man. There's people out here that, you know, won't go with, oh, this man is this and oh, this man is that. And to be able to draw a crowd of over 100,000 people to a rally after all of the foolishness, all the things they tried to peddle in our faces in the courtroom, they had nothing to do with what the man is charged with, but it's designed to gaslight the masses. To see a Michael Jackson-esque crowd for a man that's running for office was epic to me. It blew my mind. It literally blew my mind, man. And, you know, I really want for people to understand what you're looking at, man. And this is a picture of before anything happened.
This is hours before. And I just look at all these people that are outside over here.
Filing in. You know, you got, I guess, vendors, man, over there. I'm talking about these vendors were making money hand over fist. You see that line?
Mm-hmm.
Lines for people to go and get food and shit. It's crazy.
This is insane. And they could have opened this whole thing up too. But I mean, in fairness, they had no idea. They were expecting 40,000. And then during the event, everybody was reporting 80,000. And then this morning, I heard from a couple of different sources that it was over 100,000 people at this Trump rally.
Absolutely. I mean, the gravitational pull to this individual is amazing. You know, this is a former American president, a revered individual by the majority, not the minority, but the majority of people. If you can look at that, Joe Biden can't even draw bath water.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, of course, and this is the thing with all the court cases and everything else. I mean, we know that this is all, you know, political theater.
You know, we'll even go even further, man. I mean, people were literally lining the streets of this city. It's insane. And you will never see Joe Biden roll through or pull up and see any of this.
Reporters flocked to Wildwood, New Jersey for a rally featuring former President Donald Trump. They wore Trump masks and waved big Trump 2024 flags. Despite some recent rain, the excitement was high.
Let's just pause that for a minute. We just bent one corner, and we're at 1,000 people or more just turning one corner. That's insanity. I mean, not even insanity. It's sanity. This is sanity here. These are people who were sleeping and woke up. This is New Jersey. This is a Democratic state, won by Democrats for the past, 40 years?
Mm-hmm.
For the presidency. And you got Donald Trump, whom the media wants you to believe that everybody hates. And you got Joe Biden that they want you to think that everybody, well, I think they're over the everybody loves Joe Biden thing.
Yeah, that kind of fell on its face. It didn't age well. And man, I really question, who bought it to begin with.
A vote for Joe Biden was a vote against Donald Trump.
But how many votes did he really get? We know that there are 385,000 just in the state of Michigan that are unaccounted for.
Absolutely. And then, of course, there was Floodgate that happened in Atlanta, where there were no wet boxes. There was no wet floor. There were nobody had on a parka. No, nothing, man. Nothing. And then you want me to believe that, it's fair and it's impartial, and we every vote we do our job. Even at McDonald's, when people are dropping burgers on the floor, they want you to believe they're doing their job.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously. You know, so just let's keep it moving.
And
I
restaurants were
just need you to
busy,
see this.
which is unusual for this time of year. Trump was set to speak on the beach at 5 p.m. Trump's campaign advisor, Jason Miller,
find a
said
robot
they expected
voice?
tens of thousands to attend,
Yeah.
contrasting it with President Biden's events. Trump's rally overshadowed his ongoing legal issues. The crowd eagerly awaited his speech as the event drew near.
People are hanging off of scaffolding and wait a minute. Where's that guy? Oh, you see him? You see them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. It's insane. That is wild. We're at about 15,000 people just hanging out outside. And you got to think about it.
Thousands of Trump supporters
They were rolling in. They were literally rolling in at that point, you know. And when we get into, you know, the news when it comes to this, we will, you know, expound a little bit more. But this is amazing. This is something that I literally expected, but I didn't expect it. On night one of WrestleMania, okay, one of the highest grossing attendance events every single year next to the Super Bowl, produced on night one, 72,000 people, 140-some thousand total in 2 nights. This man would have beat them. If he had to do a 2-night rally, he probably would have beat them by 20,000. You know, if you know, because he already, you know, well, no, 40,000. I mean, it was 100,000 people there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
100,000 people at a rally, man, for somebody who, oh, he's racist, and oh, it's this, and oh, did you hear what he said about abortion? And oh, you know, women don't have a choice. We can't murder our children.
Well, these are people that are just confused about what's going on around them.
And it's latching on to a bullcrap topic. Literally, you're latching on to your bullcrap. Okay, so you can latch on all you want to, but you know, we get to the fact that it's all BS, man. It's all bullcrap. When you wanna sit up here and you want to down a man and talk crazy about a man simply because his views are not yours, he's literally out here. And this is when you have a crowd and you have control of your crowd, as this man does.
This country, no, we're doing great. We've never done better. People understand that.
Can you all hear that?
Yeah, come up a little bit on the volume.
I can't.
Okay, it's just the way it is
then.
then.
That in order to win, because they've done nothing else. They have a bad everything about them. Think of one thing that's better. You look at the Afghanistan disaster.
I don't know. I'm not feeling that. I'm not.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's just saying, you know, think of one thing that's better since Joe Biden took office.
Right. I mean, you know, if you use common sense, and common sense is not common. I mean, if you use your common sense and you realize that your life was better before 2020, and now you got to spend $25 on steaks, $20 on chicken, $3 and some odd cents, or in some instances $7 to $8 and some odd cents in California on gasoline, something that you used to spend 99 cents a gallon for when, you know, 20 years ago. Within a 4 or 5 year span, we've shot up that far. Simply because somebody doesn't want to use our own oil and wants to pander and peddle to our enemies and buy and sell and trade with people that want to blow us up.
And it's not just about that, you know. I mean, because the part that we forget about, and the part that even I forget about a lot, is, you know, because now prices are going up, and we can also take this back to, you know, the $20 an hour, you know, McDonald's guy. There is associated with all of that dollar devaluation and inflation, the government gets a bigger cut.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, you know, that $25 steak that you used to pay $10 for, you're still paying the same percentage of tax on it. And so now, because it costs more, the government is getting a bigger piece, and so on top of the inflation, you're paying more taxes because of the inflation. And so it's a scam. It's an illegal tax. And absolutely nothing, because they talk about things right now are being, it's like 30%. It costs 30% more than it used to, but then on that 30%, you're paying additional taxes, and so we are getting scammed.
Right, and I'll show you the scam, because meanwhile, while you got this man telling us the truth, you got this man telling us vicious lies.
Last week was far short of expectation.
Oh!
It's also true right now, Mr. President, that voters by a wide margin trust Trump more on the economy.
Oh!
The polling data has been wrong all along.
Oh! Where was that?
You guys are all the same. The polling data has been wrong all along. But, I mean, no president's had the run we've had in terms of creating jobs and bringing down inflation. It was 9% when I came to office.
Wrong answer.
9%. But look,
this was an absolute lie. Inflation was 1.4% when Biden took office, and then it didn't hit 9% until about a year and a half into his presidency.
former cabinet members of the Obama-Biden administration, Tom Perez.
How many times?
Bumbling idiot, bro. Oh,
I wonder. I'm gonna have to look for something while you're playing this.
Obama, your mama. Okay, how about that? Your mama's administration. How about that? Happy Mother's Day to Joe Biden's mama. Even though the best part of Joe Biden rolled down down her leg with a stain on the sheet. That's pretty much it. Best part. Best part got wiped up in the aftermath. Am I wrong for that, Noobs?
What's that?
Am I wrong for that?
Say what you were saying. I said
that the best part of Joe Biden rolled down his mama's leg and made a stain on the bed.
Yeah. Well, it made his brothers too, and so I'm not sure what happened there. I'll tell you what, though, they are all peas in a pod. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever looked at Joe Biden, standing next to one of his brothers talking? I mean, they look like bookends. His brother's a little bit bigger than he is, but I mean, other than that.
Might be a little bit of inbreed, you think? You think? Could be.
Yeah, so I had to find, and what I was looking for there, I had to find a Joe Biden rap
song. Got a question out here for you noobs.
What's that?
You see it? It's on the screen.
What's that? Oh, hell no! This is coffee.
Yeah. If I ask a question he doesn't answer, then more than likely.
I'm multitasking, all right? And it's not something that I'm good at. All right.
More than likely.
I'm usually the dude that's in the background, but I stay in the background. And so now I'm trying to be in the in the foreground and kind of co-host at the same time as doing the background. So yeah, sometimes I get lost.
And I appreciate it. Smoke them if you got them, sir. That's all I'm saying. Let's look at this.
And so, but I did find something that's good that we'll have to show later on here. Let's
continue to FJB. That's what we're doing here.
Biden going to slip up, admitting that Obama is running this administration.
They need to quit playing with that dude and get them bullcrap teleprompters and go ahead and get him 2 40-inch flat screens, sit him right in front of his face.
Yeah, really. And on the background, have the little bouncing ball that's highlighting the words that he's supposed to say. That way, when he flubs it, we can see what he meant.
Oh, okay. That's what you meant, huh?
Yeah.
Let me make this clear.
They may have evidence of Obama. Evidence of what, Kilroy?
Okay, so let's keep it moving. Let's have some fun with this.
Jill tries to lead Joe to the right, but he says, nope, I'm going this way. So she tells their guests, all right, just follow him. Let's go that way.
Yo, like I'm trying to go to the bathroom. What are y'all doing? Why is everybody following me? My pepper full. I need my aid. I need my aid. I need my aid. I have made a poopy. It is time to go. So Joe had the audacity to tell us as American people, man, that the economy is okay. You cool. You got the money to spend. Now, I don't know about anybody over, anywhere here that really has the money to spend. Where you at? Somebody please talk to me.
Well, Joe has the money to spend, and 2/3 of Congress has the money to spend because they're invested up to their eyeballs, along with a bunch of really big companies in places like Ukraine. And so, when Joe makes a decision that, hey, we're gonna do this, that, and the other thing, all of his buddies get a heads up so that they can appropriately invest and reinforce his position and hopefully reap the benefits from that. And I don't see how they couldn't, because if Joe tells all of his buddies, hey man, we're gonna spend a whole bunch of money and send a bunch of weapons and tanks and stuff like that over to Ukraine, then hopefully his buddies are all smart enough beforehand, because he's doing wink, wink, wink and smacking the podium, investing in those companies. And so that clip that you showed earlier, where people feel like the economy is stacked against us, that's what they're talking about.
It's
of course
all
it's stacked against us.
True. So apparently, Joe Biden in this interview, from what I gathered, told a total of 15 lies in 17 minutes. You want to find out? Noobs, you want to see? You want to see?
So long as I don't have to count.
All right. I'm not going to count, but we're going to point them out.
So much for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
So Trump attended a groundbreaking here where we are for Foxconn. He promised 13,000 jobs, and only about 1,000 of those actually exist right now. So I know you're promising more than 2,000 union construction jobs, and that 100,000 people are going to get trained in AI here. Why should people here believe that you will succeed at creating jobs where Trump failed?
He's never succeeded in creating jobs.
Wait a minute, that is a lie, sir. He's never created jobs. You're lying. Oh.
And I've never failed.
Oh, shit.
Dude, are you sure there's only 17? Because, how far into this video are we?
We are literally 33 seconds in.
Oh, my goodness.
What the heck is going on, Joe?
I've created over 15 million jobs since I've been president.
Oh, my goodness. What are we, 32 seconds in now?
30. I'm going to quit playing that. I'll be playing that all night long.
Well, you might get a YouTube strike for playing it too much. Shit, that's a lot of... Oh, my goodness.
Good Lord.
15 million in 3.75 years. And secondly, Microsoft is a serious player, and they're very much engaged in making sure that they pick this area as sort of the home base for their AI initiative in the nation. And they're gonna do it. And and by the way,
yeah, because you got money for it.
Trump he started off with a golden shovel, groundbreaking, and talked about this being, the eighth wonder of the world. When has he ever done anything he said?
What?
Time. every
What?
time. He always did exactly what he said, and that's what pissed off the Democrats and the establishment.
Oh goodness! So we're 117 in. I count 4. Okay, I count 4. I need a ticker. Kilroy girl, where you at?
Yeah, that's the chat's job. The chat has to keep track.
Hey, Kilroy girl, where you at? I need you. We have 4 lives right now. Okay, 4 actual lives.
And I'm sure we missed one, but
like, Joe, are you alive? Yes. Another lie. Okay, 4. Okay, cool. Let's go.
I'm not being facetious.
That's another lie.
That's a big word for him.
You know, I'm not being facetious. Oh, good job, Joe.
Think about it. He started off, he lost, other than Herbert Hoover, he's the only other president who lost more jobs than created.
What? Are we going to make it through this fucking thing?
What he is referring to are all the
COVID jobs.
Right. And the other thing that I should mention is that when he talks about himself creating jobs, it's people going back to work. Yeah. And so he uses it both ways. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving.
This 4-year term, he's the way he managed the end of his last year when we were dealing with COVID. 1 million people died. He told people inject bleach that may do it. Wasn't
this is the jerk off that put old people together in old folks' homes so that they could spread it around to one another.
You dumbass. Nobody. That's the equivalent. If you see somebody jump off a bridge, would you do it? It's a big ass warning on bleach. Do not ingest. Keep out of the reach of children. And you think that we're that fucking stupid that we're going to ingest bleach?
Yep.
Anybody with a thought process and a brain knows a joke when they hear it. When I heard it, I'm like, ha, 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 that's funny. Ain't nobody finna drink no bleach. I didn't want to condemn the man, but you all need anything to try to make him look bad. Anything. But you look bad with your messed up plastic surgery and your eyebrow with a vein going right to your eye about to pop out your head because you've been squinting, reading teleprompters that you can't read anything for 4 years.
He makes the best puppet of any president ever. You know what I mean?
Lord. Good Lord. Yeah.
And a real problem when he did an interview with one of your colleagues where he just flat out acknowledged he knew how dangerous it was, but he didn't want to speak to it. You know, it's and look at what he says he's going to do if he gets elected. He says he's going to do away with what I've done on Medicare, reducing the price of Medicare drastically.
When did you do that?
And when did he say that?
I think that's lie number 8 and 9.
Yeah, I have never heard Trump even talk about Medicare.
All right.
Much less, say what he wanted to do with it.
He said, close the border.
Yeah. And drill.
Baby, drill. What are you talking about?
And
that's
deregulate.
Lie number 8 and 9. Damn, Joe. Shit. You ain't told the truth yet. And we 2 minutes and a second in.
Oh my goodness. And this is a 17-minute long video.
Oh yeah. Hold on, let me back it up. I want to hear some more shit.
I've done on Medicare, reducing the price of Medicare drastically. Said he's going to do away with the Affordable Care Act. Said he's going to do it just down the line. So we have a very different view. I look at it from physician, not being facetious, from the Scranton perspective.
They must have ran that facetious word and they burnt that shit in his fucking brain.
I think he's got an earpiece.
Say facetious.
Facetious.
Good Lord.
From Mar-a-Lago perspective. He wants to give more significant tax cuts to the super wealthy. We got 1,000 billionaires in America. You know what their average federal tax is? 8.3%.
I think that's a lie. I think that's a lot.
What did he? 8.3% of what?
I don't know.
Back it up
Talks
just
about
like 5 seconds.
more significant tax cuts to the super wealthy. Now we got 1,000 billionaires in America. You know what their average federal tax is? 8.3%. Talks about
Okay,
if I-
so hold it right there. And I don't suppose that we can count this as a lie, but if we have 1,000 billionaires in the country, why do we need 80,000 new IRS agents? Why do you need 80,000 IRS agents to go after 1,000 billionaires?
Don't.
So who do we all think that the 80,000 new IRS agents are going to be looking at? The
Us.
1,000 billionaires? That's right. They ain't going to be looking at that.
Us.
Yeah. And so,
Well,
and it, an interesting point was brought up. Today, I saw somebody bring up this question, and it was like, if you get notification in the mail from the IRS that says you owe us $100, it doesn't say why, all right, but you have two options at this point. You can pay the $100 and be done with it, or you can go through the problem and expense of hiring a lawyer to preserve your $100. So you tell me what these 80,000 new IRS agents are going to be doing, because the only people that have the ability to fight that sort of thing are the people who already have lawyers on retainer, those 1,000 billionaires.
Right. So this lady, if you look at her, she got a year full of shit face on.
I don't know who this lady is.
Kind of weird because she's on CNN and she might be fucking fired because she didn't softball him enough.
I don't even know where this video comes from. So
this is from a couple of days ago on CNN.
I see.
Okay, so check it out.
I want to raise it to 25%. That would raise $40 billion, $400 billion over 10 years. Could further reduce the deficit, which I've been able
Joe
to do.
Biden.
It's just a completely different perspective on how we should proceed.
When it comes, though, to the 100,000 jobs specifically that we're talking about here, people training in AI, the actual jobs, when are they actually going to have jobs, those 100,000 people that are being trained?
Beginning probably the first tranche in 3 to 4 years.
So you mean tell me I got to wait 3 to 4 years to get my money right? Shut up.
The community colleges.
That's if you learn to code. And this is the same shit that they tried to pull before. This is just another way of saying learn to code.
Right. Let's keep it moving.
How'd that work out for them?
Yeah, crazy.
Brad, we're going to provide for 2,000 folks and to be able to be trained, 200 a year. And it's going to go, the whole pipeline goes all the way through out to high schools and training facilities. It used to be that when I was in high school.
Oh my God, we're going back that far? Fuck.
Even at the very tail end before you went to high school, most public high schools had shop and home, learn to work with your hands. Doesn't exist anymore. And so it allows people who have skills and be able to train to technical skills to be able to make a decent living without a college degree. And it's what we need.
So when we talk about the bet on AI and sort of what it means, I don't know if you saw this weekend, Warren Buffett had his annual meeting and he talked about AI. So the first thing he said was, okay, it's got enormous potential for good. But then he likened it to the development of nuclear weapons in the US.
Yeah, really?
And he said it scares the hell out of him. He always does it like he sees it. And then he says, quote, he doesn't understand a damn thing about it. And that may capture how many Americans feel. Does AI scare you?
AI has enormous potential, enormous downside potential. That's why 3 years ago I got together the major architects of AI from the different operations around the world. I met with them in Europe and here in the United States. And it ranges all the way from one of the leaders saying it's going to take over human thinking, all the way to folks who say, no, it's not a problem. And so that's why I set out certain standards that it can't do no.
Get it together, Joe.
Blub, 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 blub.
Shit, come on,
And
Joe.
we have got to get a background music for when he does that we can just bring up. Hey, maybe a mariachi band.
Yeah, shit. Jesus Christ.
No harm, and we have to make sure we know how to do that. We have to make sure it's controlled, and that's all. It's the most significant, I think, technological development in human history.
The most significant in human history.
Yeah, and not in terms of war and peace, but in terms of being able to. One leader in the AI community said to me, "It's going to overtake human thinking," and which is frightening.
Terrifying.
But the other, most think it can be used for everything from find cures for cancer to significantly increase productivity.
So when you talk about the economy, of course, it is by far the most important issue for voters. It's also
Here we go. Here we go. It's going to get ugly right here. Shit.
also true right now, Mr. President, that voters by a wide margin trust Trump more on the economy.
We do.
They say that in polls. And part of the reason for that may be the numbers. And you're aware of many of these, of course. The cost of buying a home in the United States is double what it was when you look at your monthly costs from before the pandemic. Real income, when you account for inflation, is actually down.
Look at him. What? Wait, what? Okay.
Since you took office. Economic growth last week, far short of expectations. Consumer confidence, maybe no surprise.
He breathing a little hard, don't you think? You see that?
Sweating a little bit.
Get it together, Joe. You got me over here choking and shit. Get it together.
Is near a 2-year low. With less than 6 months to go to Election Day, are you worried that you're
Still
running
wanna
out
do
of
it.
time
Hold on
to
to your
turn that
hats.
around?
We've already turned it around. Look at the Michigan survey. For 65% of American people think they're in good shape economically. They think the nation's not in good shape, but they're personally in good shape.
Lie number 13.
What? He said the nation was not in good shape, but they're personally in good shape? Who are these people in Michigan that he polled? Do they all live on Mackinac Island? Did they go to Mackinac Island with this
But wait a minute.
poll?
He's going to completely contradict himself because he's talking about a survey, which is a poll. Look at the Michigan poll, is what he just said, right?
Right.
Okay.
That
All
might
right.
just be Upper Peninsula,
Right.
where everybody's house, just the lot, the half-acre lot that their house is built on is worth $10 million.
Right. Here we go.
The polling data has been wrong all along.
What? Hold on. Back it up just a little bit.
That was a lot.
Look, it was a complete contradiction.
Consumer confidence, maybe no surprise, is near a 2-year low. With less than 6 months to go to Election Day, are you worried that you're running out of time to turn that around?
We've already turned it around. Look at the Michigan survey. For 65% of American people think they're in good shape economically. They think the nation's not in good shape, but they're personally in good shape. The polling data has been wrong.
Dude, that
all
is
along.
not people in Detroit.
Yeah.
The polling data has been wrong all along. Okay?
Let's count that as a lie.
I mean, but I think we already got it. I think we up to 13. Hold on.
How many, you guys do a poll at CNN, how many folks you have to call to get one response? The idea that we're in a situation where things are so bad, the folks that, I mean, we've created more jobs. We're in a situation where people have access to good paying jobs. And the last I saw, the combination of the inflation, the cost of inflation, all those things, that's really worrisome to people with good reason. That's why I'm working very hard to bring the cost of rentals down, to increase the number of homes that are available. But let me say it this way. When I started this administration, people were saying there's going to be a collapse in the economy. We have the strongest economy in the world. Let me say.
Mark it down.
Yeah.
That's 15. We are 7 minutes and 19 seconds in, and we are at 15.
And just to put that in perspective, I mean, this is the first time in history that the US dollar has been in jeopardy of not being the world reserve currency since its creation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's turning into a peso.
Well, yeah, and I mean they're doing it deliberately, because they're printing it like it's going out of style, and then they're taxing what they print like it's going out of style, and they're raising the prices of everything else, and in California raising the minimum wage, making that dollar worth even less, while taxing those people for that increase. Oh my goodness, this is the biggest scam that we have seen in our lifetimes. This is bigger than Madoff. This is a bigger scam than, the cryptocurrency guy. This is nothing but a scam.
Okay, so we at 15. They said 15 and 17 minutes. We are at 7 minutes and 19 seconds, and we have already pointed out 15. Good Lord. Let's see what's up.
Say it again, in the world.
Although GDP last week was far short of expectations.
Oh, it wasn't. Look, GDP is still growing. Look at the response of the markets. Overwhelmingly positive.
Because they think Trump's going to win.
Yeah.
That's why.
Overwhelmingly positive. And one of the reasons why people feel good about it not being as strong as it was before is they believe that the Fed's going to respond.
They hope they're going to get a rate cut.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, no president's had the run we've had in terms of creating jobs and bringing down inflation. It was 9% when I came to office.
16.
Yeah. And I've got an article in front of me that says, despite industry-funded reporting indicating otherwise, the Biden-Harris administration is not proposing cuts to Medicare Advantage. In fact, the administration is proposing an increase to Medicare Advantage payments this year by 1% on top of an 8.5% increase in Medicare Advantage payments last year. And I will put the link in the chat.
So that was from a previous statement. So that's line 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness gracious. Mark it down, Kilroy girl. 17. And you can do your research on this one because News put the link in the chat. It is there. Oh, my goodness. And
that is from the website of U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So it's
my goodness. I mean, hey, we gonna snake out even more lies. They said 15. Nope. Here we go.
9%. But look, people have a right to be concerned. Ordinary people, the idea that you bounce a check and you get a $30 fee for bouncing the check, might change that.
And what does this have to do with anything?
I ain't trying to bounce nothing.
Dude, and get this, that bounce check fee has been $30, since I was an airman first class in the Air Force, 25, 28 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like he's got it in his mind, that the maybe 2% of people who run into this condition for whatever reason, he's like their savior. Are you kidding me? Because let me tell you, that $30 is not the hit that it was when I was, 20 something. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
And so, what is that $30 worth? Maybe half what it was.
I promise. Jesus Christ. They don't even need the money anymore. It's not worth a fuck.
Yeah, really. Banks have come up with much better ways to scam people out of money than that overdraft fee these days.
Right. So They actually give you forgiveness now. They don't even worry about it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, every time you go to the ATM, you're paying $3.50 to get access to your money. And so, dude, they're making money hand over fist. They're getting 3 to 5% on every transaction you make with a credit or debit card.
So 17 lies in 8 minutes and 4 seconds.
Or your credit card, your late payment, $35. I mean, there's corporate greed going on out there. And it's
government greed too, buddy.
Yep. Well, not just that, but as he's bitching about corporate greed, he is the one that is currently directly responsible for the interest increases on all of your credit cards.
Say good job, Kilroy girl. We are at 18 lives. I'm glad you picked that up. That's what you're here for, baby girl. Keep doing your thing, Kilroy girl. That's what I'm talking about.
Got to be dealt with.
What about, but there's real pain. Grocery prices are up 30% more
Here come the lie of all the lies.
than 30% since the beginning of the pandemic. And people are spending more on food and groceries than they have at any time really in the past 30 years. That's a real day-to-day pain that people.
No.
This is going to ruin his election chances right here. This statement right here is so jacked.
And you know what he's really thinking about right now? He's thinking, oh, man, please don't fart. Jeez, just don't fart. Don't fart.
Yeah, seriously. These are softball questions.
Yeah.
And he can't even handle a softball. Good, he's whiffing. Swinging and missing.
But if he shits himself, it's all over.
Oh, my goodness. So here we go. Let's. You know what? I'm going to back it up just a tinge to what she's saying versus what he's going to say.
Grocery prices are up 30%, more than 30%. Since the beginning of the pandemic, and people are spending more on food and groceries than they have at any time really in the past 30 years. That's a real day-to-day pain that people feel.
No. So he doesn't agree.
It really is.
Hold on.
And it's real. But the fact is that if you take a look at what the people have, they have the money to spend.
Oh, there you go. There you go, everybody.
Lie.
There you go.
Lie.
Hey,
Lies.
the president just told you have the money to spend.
You got the money to buy $25 chicken, $40 steaks.
And since you got all that money, we are going to send 80,000 IRS agents to make sure that the government gets their cut of all that money that you got, that you're hiding from Joe Biden. Because every single one of you is we know you're making millions of dollars.
This guy, I'm trying to be nice and I'm doing a great job of not getting gaslit because I'm trying to bring the information.
Kilroy girl and Joe Brandon, both of them, and Mountie, I know they're all making probably $500,000 a year, all of them.
My goodness, that lie. When I heard it, I almost threw my remote at the television. I'm just being honest. Stop complaining, because even though in 2019, sir, you were making, in 2018, you were making $2 an hour and you were like a genie in your house and you could buy anything and you can have steak and shrimp and lobster and crab legs and all these things. And now you're on ramen noodles, but you got the money to spend. It's all good.
Well, now Fannie, she keeps thousands of dollars like in the couch cushion.
Holy mattress money, baby.
Yeah, and so Joe knows that you also have all that cash stuffed in the seams of your couch too.
But I got some quarters, baby. I've actually seen a dollar make it all the way down to the bottom. But shit,
Did you report that dollar? That's income, man. You just got that dollar out of nowhere.
Oh my goodness! Oh shit! Let me shut up before I get audited. Hold on, give me a second.
All right. Just bear with us, y'all. It's Sunday. We're screwing off a little bit.
Oh man, we're giving you, but we're still giving you the news, and we count the lies. We are at 19 lies. They was being nice to this man. I ain't got no love for Joe Biden. So we're gonna point it all out.
It angers them and angers me that you have to spend more. For example, the whole idea of this notion that Senator Casey talked about, shrinkflation. I think it's on your
Same
program.
price for a smaller bottle of juice or
Well,
something.
for example, stickers.
And have y'all noticed that?
That's a fact.
Everything is getting smaller, but it's always got that label on it that says 33% bigger.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, let's go. That was lie number 20.
And it's like 20% less for the same price. That's corporate greed. It's corporate greed. And we've got to deal with it. And that's what I'm working on.
That's what causes shrinkflation. Corporate greed, okay? That is allowed by our what? Government. Because
not just allowed, promoted. Because you're trying to sell, to the regular guy, a Happy Meal, man. It's got a cheeseburger in it. It's got some French fries. It's got a drink. It's got a really low price. But no. We got to pay some dude $20 an hour. Now they're crying for $25 an hour. $20 an hour to make this cheeseburger. And what happens instead? McDonald's just goes to kiosks.
Yep.
So who did we have? Where are these jobs that are being created? We already counted that line, so we don't have to count it again.
Right. And from what I see, jobs are being eliminated, bro.
Bro, jobs are definitely. And so now Homeboy is sitting here talking about AI.
He called him homeboy. Yeah.
He is going to sit here and tell us about AI.
He got big tech. Big tech got him in his pocket, man. Oh my God, it's crazy. Bill Gates got this man in his pocket.
What are we going to do with the 11 million people that are?
I don't know. Teach them AI. I don't know what the fuck.
Well, yeah, exactly. We got to teach them
look,
first.
So we are at 9 minutes and 5 seconds, and we have snaked out 20 lies.
And we have already been on here for an hour.
Crazy.
All right.
Crazy. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about something happening as we sit here and speak, and that, of course, is Israel is striking Rafah.
Oh, crap. It's going to get ugly.
I know that you have paused, Mr. President, shipments of 2,000-pound U.S. bombs to Israel due to concern that they could be used in any offensive on Rafah. Have those bombs, those powerful 2,000-pound bombs, been used to kill civilians in Gaza?
Civilians have been killed in Gaza as a consequence of those bombs and other ways in which they go after population centers. And I made it clear that if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone into Rafah yet. If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities, to deal with that problem. We're going to continue to make sure Israel is secure in terms of Iron Dome and their ability to respond to attacks like came out of the Middle East recently. But it's just wrong. We're not going to supply the weapons and the artillery shells used that have been used.
Artillery shells as well.
Yeah, artillery shells.
So
That's kind of treason, ain't it?
What's
That's
that?
an impeachable act, ain't it?
What's that?
To make a deal with one of your, people that you say is one of the only allies in the Middle East. You made a deal, and now you kind of rescinding on that deal.
Well, I do know that we have,
Because and let me finish. Because of quid pro quo, because you have a legion of people in a state that you can't afford to lose.
Well, That's not impeachable.
They impeached Donald Trump for it.
For what?
It was something with Ukraine, a situation with Ukraine.
It was
They felt like
manufactured.
yes, but this is real. This is quid
No,
pro
no,
quo.
no. I think what she's referring to, because we have treaties with Israel, all right, and a treaty is a law, sanctioned by Congress and all that kind of stuff. So if they're going to impeach Joe Biden over Israel, it's because he is reneging on, some portion of a treaty.
Exactly. So they did the same thing to Trump with Ukraine.
Well, no, that was different.
Literally did it. They literally did it. I think, was that the first impeachment or the second? It was the first one. It's crazy. I mean, it's not supposed to happen, first and foremost. But now you're doing the same thing, and you try. It's like I said, pissing in somebody's face and telling them it's lemonade, man. It's crazy. So let's keep it going. We 10 minutes. We almost done.
So just to understand what they're doing right now in Rafah, is that not going into Rafah as you define it yet?
They haven't gone into the population centers. What they did is right on the border, and it's causing problems with right now in terms of with Egypt, which I've worked very hard to make sure we have a relationship and help. But I've made it clear to Bibi.
They need our help. We don't need theirs. How do we need their help for anything? Anybody in the Middle East. It's an ocean away. What do we need? They need us.
In the war cabinet. They're not going to get our support if, in fact, they go in these population centers. We're not walking away from Israel's security. We're walking away from Israel's ability to wage war in those areas.
So it's not over your red line yet?
Not yet, but we've held up the weapons. We've held up the one shipment as an old shipment was designed. We've held that up.
And I want to ask you one more thing, if I may. The images that people see out of Gaza are horrific. The UN's talking about, some of these mass graves and the summary executions that there's been evidence of, torture, the images of children. It breaks anyone's heart to look at it. And obviously we've seen that frustration here in the US on college campuses. And Mr. President, had signs at college campuses. Some say Genocide Joe. Any of us that have gone to those campuses, sometimes we hear that chant. Do you hear the message of those young Americans?
Absolutely, I hear the message. Look, two things. First of all, there's a legitimate right to free speech and protest. There's a legitimate right to do that, and they have a right to do that. There's not a legitimate right to use hate speech. There's not a legitimate right to threaten Jewish students. There's not a legitimate right to block people access to class. That's against the law. That's against the law. And if you look at the data, these demonstrations are real, but they're not nearly, look, and I made a speech on the Holocaust the other day. Mm-hmm. And I pointed out that, it took 7 decades to get to the place where after the Holocaust occurred, and there's still anti-Semitism. Look what's happened in 7 weeks, 70. What's happening?
77. What are you saying? You can't get it out your mouth, Joe. We need to understand. You're trying to be a president for 4 more years, man. You suck. You're terrible. Get out of here.
Everybody's sort of forgotten about what happened in Israel. Those 1,200 young kids murdered. I saw pictures. I went over there shortly after. A mother and a daughter being roped together and then kept.
When did he go to Israel? Noobs, you know when he went to Israel? Do you?
No, I don't know when he went to Israel.
I don't think he went. He's lying.
I don't know if he is or not. He might have gone, but I think I do remember seeing something about him going to Israel.
Okay, well, whatever, fine.
But
we'll take that off the lie list. That's crazy.
Pharisees and burned to death. Nothing's like that to happen in the Jewish community since the Holocaust. So when I went over immediately after that happened, I said to Bibi, don't make the same mistake we made in America. We want to get bin Laden and we'll help you get Sinwar. But we went into Afghanistan it made sense to go get bin Laden. It made no sense to try to unify Afghanistan. It made no sense, in my view, to engage in thinking that in Iraq they had a nuclear weapon. Don't make the same mistake. Focus on, and we'll help you focus on getting the bad guys. And we got to think through what is happening after Gaza, after this is over. Who's going to occupy Gaza? I've been working with the Arab states. I won't mention them because I don't want to get them in trouble. But 5 leaders.
What? You don't want to get them in trouble. Oh wow. Okay. Oh wow.
In the Arab community, we're prepared to help rebuild Gaza. Prepared to help.
We need to help ourselves, bro. What are you talking about, man? The border is out of control, man. Our economy is jacked up, and you worried about rebuilding Gaza?
What he's worried about doing before he's forced to leave office, what he's worried about doing is destroying as much of this country as is humanly possible.
Promise.
Transition to a 2-state solution.
To govern it?
Well, to maintain the security and peace while they're working out a Palestinian authority that's real and not corrupt.
All right, well, Mr. President, thank you very much. I appreciate your time today.
Screw you, bro. I don't appreciate nothing about you at all. Trash president, liar. Your poo-poo diaper is on fire. How about that? Out of here, man. So, Kilroy girl, what is your tally? Is it where we at 21 and that's it? Hey, Shannon Lewis. As a matter of fact, let's jump in the chat real quick. We ain't got that many in here today that's active like that, but we're going to go ahead and get it rolling. Let Miss Lady T what's going on. Kilroy girl, of course, you out here being my counter. My man Mountie is definitely in the building. You got my boy Brandon, Mr. Joe Brandon. You ain't black. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we got, of course, my boy Shannon that just dropped up in here, man. And I appreciate everybody that's in here. If it's your first time, second time, third time, whatever, and you ain't hit that like, you ain't shared, you ain't subscribed, I don't understand how that's so difficult. It only take like 3 seconds out of your time. Go ahead and do it so we can make sure that we get to where we need to be. We have actually gotten past the 90. We got 93 to go to get to 500, and we are actually trying to get there as fast as we can. There's going to be some things that we're going to implement and we're going to do for you guys just to show our appreciation for the Provoked Thoughts crew and y'all that ride with us all the time. So as we can, as we get back into it, we see Joe Biden has told 21 lies. They were being nice. That man was lying.
Yeah, and I think I found number 22. Because I'm looking at that survey of consumers from the University of Michigan that he referred to. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it is just like you said. Everything from March of 2023 to March of 2024, the consumer sentiment in all lines is lower than their consumer expectations for the next year. And I would say, in contradiction to what Joe has said, that is because the expectation is that he is going to leave office, because it has been in decline since then and is only now showing that people expect a better standard of living over the next year. And I would attribute that to the expectation that Joe Biden is leaving the White House.
Oh my goodness. I mean, either.
Yeah. So what he's trying to take credit for is the direct result, in my opinion, and I'm not an economist, but is a direct result of the expectation that he's out of there.
Say Kilroy girl got us at 22, and my man Shannon got us at 23. And take the mask off, Joe. Show us who you really are. Take that mask off. Quit playing. Shout out, Joe. All right, come in. You're coming in hot. I see you. I see you. So basically, man, we got these people who support this, man, and
I'm going to put that link in the chat too.
I might as well tell you guys, man. I had a conversation today that disturbed me.
No.
And it disturbed me.
Oh no.
It disturbed me. I was talking to my sister, my oldest sister, and I love my sister, and I don't give a damn who she want to vote for. I'm gonna love her anyway. But Jesus freaking Christ, the conversation that we had, and she tried to tell me that she was down the middle, and I'm like, you down the middle of the far left, man. What are you talking about? She told me that I need to, even before I even got started, in my opinion and everything, because she knows that I have conservative values, that I need to expand my research. Now, one thing that I can safely say is I expand my research. You can literally see, we've watched 14 minutes and 15 seconds of a CNN situation. And it hurt me just as much as it hurt y'all, if even more, to see this pickled, liver-lipped old man lie to me. Lie to the American people, and they believe it. So she told me I need to do my own research. And guess who she told me that I need to go see that's actually very, very unbiased and will give it straight down the middle and has great opinions? Joy Reid.
You know what I think you need to do? I think that you need to get your sister a Provoked Thoughts t-shirt.
She don't need, I'm not going to give her one of my
Don't
t-shirts.
Don't say a word. Just give her the shirt.
Oh, my goodness. And then she told me that I need to go and turn around and further dumb myself down by watching The Morning Joe.
Oh, my goodness. That dude doesn't know what side he's on.
You talking about the morning, I want a vomit section?
Dude, what was that speech he just gave where he tried to portray Stormy Daniels as a
saint, as a nun?
Yeah. And so
as a temperate
people. These are the people that, folks who just aren't paying attention. These
as
are
a
the people that they
temperate
see in here. Yep.
Of virtue. This woman who has taken it in every single hole in her body. I'm talking about
we don't even need to go there.
Even the nostrils and the ears. I believe, personally.
You spend too much time thinking about that shit.
Look, I just want people to understand, if anybody needed a scarlet letter A on their chest and sat in the middle of the town, it's this woman.
No, she's a nut. That dude on MSBS, whatever, said so.
Bunch of whack jobs, man. Crazy and can't think beyond their own behinds, man. Are out here. Oh, well, you need to watch Joy Reid. And if she had said Rachel Maddow, then I probably would have cussed my sister out.
But it's and I always wonder when I see those kinds of things, like, who is it that they're trying to convince? Who are these people that are believing the words that are coming out of his mouth?
No one.
Yeah. Well, somebody.
No one can tell me a policy except for this abortion foolishness or the infrastructure when it's almost summertime and I'm still dodging potholes. Okay? The infrastructure.
Hey, that's some Bidenomics infrastructure, man. How dare you complain?
It's making me into an excellent driver, that's for sure. Because it's hard to switch lanes to dodge a pothole and not hit the truck next to you.
Hey, and those shocks and brakes, they cost 30% more than they did the last time you got them. So just wait for that. You didn't avoid nothing.
Fortunately, I know how to install brakes myself.
It's still going to cost you 30% more.
Yeah, I mean, but I ain't got to pay for the labor at least.
Yeah, and they're going to be from China. Those nice
Oh,
OEM struts that you had,
they're going to be squeaking from the start.
Yeah. Yup.
So I do want to send a shout out and tell everybody Happy Mother's Day once again. And we're going to segue a little bit and we're going to get a little funny, serious. And I don't know if y'all know, but Puppetgate got a new one. Okay. And this is what Puppetgate's determination of what they want to do to Mother's Day is. So here we go.
Mother's Day and renaming it Birthing People's Day. Hello. We are the Demonic Democrats for a Dystopian Future.
We promote feminism, lesbianism, and abortionism.
In other words, we hate men.
And babies too.
We pray to the great Moloch by offering him an endless stream of child sacrifices.
On this Motherless Day, we want to take the time to recognize the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, who was the founder, and we want to recognize her for it.
Sanger was a racist, eugenics sympathizer, and Planned Parenthood disavowed her for it in 2020.
She once gave a speech to the Women's Auxiliary of the Ku Klux Klan in New Jersey, and that speech was a speech to the women of the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, and Margaret Sanger started the Negro Project in 1939, and her goal was to exterminate the Negro population.
We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population. And the minister is the man that can straighten out that idea if ever it occurs to any of their more rebellious members.
Angela Davis wasn't so happy about that, though, because she wasn't happy. Angela Davis, that is, wasn't so happy.
The Democrats hold Margaret Sanger up high on a pedestal because we also want to promote abortion to Black and brown communities. We don't want those communities to grow. We want them dumb and dependent so that we can tell them the Republicans are racist. Even if Republicans ended slavery, and the Democrats fought to keep slaves.
This ignites an emotional response from Black Americans, and as LBJ once said,
I'll have those niggers voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
You know, more Black babies are aborted in New York City than are born. That's because they are aborted rather than born. You know, the Black babies that are aborted?
Young Garden Tool thoughts that are pro-abortion, pro-choice, always say that Republicans only care about the baby, fetus, while it's in the mother. But once it's born, they don't care anymore. It's not like there aren't dozens of organizations with thousands of offices nationwide that help single mothers, and it's not like the links are in the video description.
Anyways, if you're pregnant, don't be. Just get an abortion. It's that simple.
Oh, and one last thing. We are banning Mother's Day and renaming it Birthing People's Day.
Meanwhile, in every woke city.
A fetus is not a baby. It's a clump of cells, a parasite. My body, my choice. Unless it's a mandated vaccine, then it's your body, my choice. A fetus is only good for testing medicine and vaccines like HEK293, which was used in the process of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine and Regeneron's therapeutic antibody cocktail. Abortion is women's reproductive health. It's totally not murder. Nope. My body, my choice. My body, my choice.
Hey, man, make sure that y'all go over there ASAP and subscribe to Public Gate. Watch those videos, man. Hit them notification bells so you can know when they come on and when they have content, because, you know, a lot of times it's fun and games, but that's real stuff, man. It's some forces going on. These women are, you know, just pumping the idea that it's okay to kill a kid. Like, I mean, it's not okay. I mean, now there are some instances where you can feel the way you want to feel, sexual assault, you know, things like that. You know, if it's really, really compromising your health. But, you know, if you just had a drunken night of passion, I think you need to go ahead and deal with that, man. Those are the consequences. And you shouldn't be able to just commit murder because of the fact that you decided to say, don't worry about that condom. Don't pull out. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculousness on it at its finest. And I believe that, you know, I believe that, you know, even though I have those beliefs, I do respect the fact that things should be left up to state legislation. And if you don't like it, you can move around. You can go to another state, handle your business. You know, stuff like that. You just don't want to, you know, go to that doctor that's in that dark house up the hill. You know, we have to make this thing make sense, man. And it doesn't make sense for us to say, oh, it's okay. You can do what you want to do and kill a baby, and that's fine. That's not what it's all about, man. It's if you I don't know, man. I don't know. It grabs me a little bit when it comes to that, because I would never be an advocate, especially if it's my kid, to get rid of it, you know, no matter what happens. Okay. So, you know, even with all of this stuff that's going on, and, you know, you got trials here and you got trials there, you have trials in this Trump situation that are falling to pieces right in front of our face. And we got one right here. We would just go to the news.
Right now, a decision announced this morning by the Georgia Court of Appeals makes it even more unlikely that former President Donald Trump will be tried here this year. Fox 5 team reporter Randy Travis is here. And Randy, Trump's challenge to DA Fani Willis's involvement in the case will be allowed to go forward to the appeals court.
That's right, Christine. Yeah, this is not like the immunity challenge being considered right now by the U.S. Supreme Court. This all relates to the DA's decision to date her top assistant in the case, Nathan Wade. Trump and several of his co-defendants accused Willis of having a conflict of interest in the prosecution because some of the money she was paying Wade, he spent on her when the two vacationed together. They each testified that the expenses were roughly split between the two of them. Well, Scott McAfee, the judge in the case, agreed their explanations did not pass the smell test. He called it an odor of mendacity, which means he thought someone was not being truthful. Still, he allowed Fani Willis and her office to continue the prosecution as long as Wade was removed from the case. He was that same day. But many of the defendants asked for permission to challenge the decision to leave Willis in place. Today, the Court of Appeals granted that request, likely bringing the case to a halt for some time. Attorney Manny Aurora represented Ken Chesborough, one of the four defendants who earlier pled guilty to reduced charges.
I think it's the right decision because there are some vague statutes involved here based on what the defense had raised and sort of the complexity of the whole situation. And obviously the unique nature of the fact that it involves a presidential prosecution. So what will happen next is there'll be a briefing schedule, which will take probably several months, and then possibly oral argument, then eventually a decision. So I wouldn't expect to have any resolution to this issue prior to the end of the year.
In a written statement, Trump attorney Steve Sadow said President Trump looks forward to presenting interlocutory arguments to the Georgia Court of Appeals as to why the case should be dismissed and Fulton County DA Willis should be disqualified for her misconduct in this unjustified, unwarranted political persecution. The DA's office had no comment, Christine, but again, trial not expected till at least 2025. If at all, depends on what happens in the election come November.
Now, for clarification, for people wondering, does that mean that trial comes to a halt for former President Trump or for all of the co-defendants on the case.
For all of them. You know, I was talking to one of the other defense attorneys for one of the other co-defendants a few weeks ago, and he said that they were preparing for the possibility, because of that immunity question going on in front of the Supreme Court right now, that maybe Fani Willis might sever Donald Trump from the case and just prosecute the remaining 14, go forward with them, try to get that going before the election this fall. But that's not going to be the case now. Nothing is happening in this case until at least next year.
Wow, so many twists and turns in this whole thing that we've been following since 2020, really.
Right.
Randy, thanks so much.
Oh my God. Thanks so
Developing
much.
right now, a decision
Fani
announced
Willis.
this morning.
Noobs, where you at on this one?
I'm over here engaged in chat, and actually, you know, we can bring it over here into the panel, but I mean, he says look at the white birth rate. This is Joe Brandon. You know, in the last 20 to 30 years, it's less than one child per person. Reason why abortion whites are not getting married, and I see some truth in that, because man, if you look at all of these videos out here and there's two videos. One is you see the party girl sitting there, you know, just running her mouth about, you know, how she don't need no man and people shouldn't be looking down on her for going out, you know, to clubs every night, you know, with their ankles pinned behind her ears and that sort of thing. And my question, you know, to those folks is who wants you after all of that? You know what I mean? Who's looking for that? Who has it on their list when they're searching for a wife or the mother of their children? Line number one: partied until she was 30.
Well, with Fani, it's party in your 50s.
Well, but I'm saying, you know, because we're talking about the birth rates in this country. So I don't care about Fani. She's not even reproductive material anymore.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean. And so, you know, who's looking for that? I want to know who these people are. And then the other kind of videos that you see is where they've hit the wall. And now they're crying and boo-hooing about all the decisions that they made. And they're in their 40s and 50s.
Fair enough. Makes a lot of sense. You know, so not going to do any videos in regards to this, but, you know, of course we got... you know, the court is for the hush money BS garbage. What the heck are we doing here at all trial resumes on Monday. And apparently we shall have Michael Cohen, whom at one point said he'd take a bullet for Trump, but now he's firing bullets at the man. People kill me. And in the conversation with my sister, I talked about the $100,000 hush money payment. And I'm like, don't you think that $130,000 from a billionaire, and this is a porn star that's been in the industry and has probably made close to $1 million, if not $1 million, would lowball herself in that regard? I don't think so. I just don't. It's the stupidest dollar amount I ever heard in my life, 130. Well, I mean, it's such an oddball, weak-ass number. And it's a number that sounds like that's the only thing that people would give Michael Cohen at the bank for a loan. And that's what he got her to sign, a paper. It wasn't hush money. And the paper that she signed with Michael Cohen is the second signature, which she had already signed one, and she was probably like, you weirdo, why you got me signing another? But I'll take your fucking money. And he got butthurt because he went rogue and did this shit while Trump had already done what he needed to do. And that's why your ass got fired. And that's why he was whining and crying about this shit. So you're going to get on this stand as a convicted perjurer, liar, piece of shit, tax fraud fucker. And you're going to go ahead and say, oh, Trump made me do it. No, he did not. You did that shit yourself. On your own, you went rogue because you considered yourself the fixer and you wanted to go to the White House and be the fixer, but you really were going to be the screwer-upper. You'd have ruined everything. You were rogue all along, bro. You weren't about Trump. You were about yourself. And you were saying everything. You was one of those jilted super fans. You like a Geronda Pace or Azriel Clary with R. Kelly. Period. It's almost like you wanted the man. So we're gonna keep it short and sweet tonight. It's been an hour and a half. I do appreciate everybody for coming in tonight. I really, really, really do. Happy Mother's Day once again to all the mothers out there that got children, whether they are good or bad, and you didn't decide to get rid of them. Congratulations, mamas, for seeing it through. If you're seeing it through right now, if you got one that just spit up on you, whatever. We appreciate you. Noobs, you got anything on the way out?
I was just answering some stuff that Kilroy Curl said over here. Yeah, I am, I don't get as caught up in the details of, like the case and that sort of thing, mainly because I know that they're doing it for show.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, what is Michael? Let's just put a fork in this thing. It's done. You know what I mean? And I think that, although, some of the details can be very funny and that sort of thing, I think I've lost interest in what's going on, in the Stormy Daniels, Michael Cohen, because, it's just become garbage now. It's just become a joke. We're flogging the dead horse, and it's just getting hard to look at anymore. But yeah, I totally know what you mean. And that's the sentiment that I want to back up. Not so much about the details, but just in the pure, just in your face, garbage, the total dumpster fire that all of these cases are turning out to be.
And Michael Cohen, once the prosecution gets a hold of your ass, and you leave that stage.
Yeah. And one thing I would like to add, I would like to see Jim Jordan actually follow through. Okay, is anybody else with me? I would like to see Jim Jordan follow through on his mouth and do something about the investigation with Fannie Willis and federal funds. I'm sick of hearing him talk about it.
Well, Georgia's kicking ass with it.
Do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Georgia's kicking ass with it and pissing her off real bad.
Well, I think Georgia's hands are tied because I don't think that they have the state laws in place to really go after anything that she's done. But if you know of something, let me know what it is, because everything that I see, I see like their state legislators going, oh, well, she shouldn't have done this and she shouldn't have done that. And, we're going to make new laws to prevent it. But I haven't heard anybody say yet, if there's a Georgia state law that she broke, what was it?
I'm sure she's broken some law. Look at her and listen to her. She's done something.
I can't work with that though.
She's done something. I mean, she's done. Look. I don't think that stealing is legal anywhere. So there's some law against her stealing that money. There's some law against her not going through the proper channels in order to hire this man in the first place.
You know why I think that might not be true? Is because they never expected to have somebody like her in that position. It was never thought of. And so from what I've seen, the laws in the state of Georgia give her the authority to do what she wants to do with her budget once she receives it. Even if money comes in earmarked for a specific project, she may have the authority to override that and reallocate those funds to another place without breaking the law in the state of Georgia.
Well, let's hope not. I think that she needs her ass handed to her.
Well, I agree.
I do. And there's nothing else. I would hope that if they're going to hand the ass to Trump like this, that at some point they'll go after her, because Trump didn't do shit wrong. We know what she did was wrong.
Well, and
law
the
doesn't
thing
apply
is,
to Trump. We know law should apply to her.
the thing
We know
is
this.
that she received federal funds. And so the only thing that we do know at this point is that if she did not use those federal funds specifically for what they were earmarked for, then she's in violation of federal law. And so the only person that I've heard noise from about that so far is Jim Jordan. What I have not seen is any action on that. And if Jim Jordan issues a subpoena for Fani Willis, is the Justice Department going to enforce it? Hell no.
I think they should.
Well, yeah, but look who's running the Justice Department, Joe Biden.
Right. But I mean, but the only thing that's doing is that's making the people who vote more and more aware. Now we're gonna shut it down because we can go talking about this, and we're supposed to be gone at 1 minute and 2 minutes ago. So
let's hit it.
Everybody, we love y'all. Stay tuned for more of my shorts, more of my short videos, more of our lives. I'll see you guys on Wednesday unless something profound happens tomorrow. And we are up out of here. Noob, stick around for just 1 second, okay?
Not everybody.
All right.
How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit. It's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack them all? How long we not gonna make these youngers pull their pants up? How long we gonna keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gonna keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beats stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.